Hello friends, welcome to our channel Know the Law, and here I am Advocate Jyoti Chodia, and today we are going to study the Citizenship Act of 1955, in which we are going to study how the citizenship of India can be acquired, that is by the process of registration, by the process of naturalization, by the process of descent and much more, and also how the citizenship of India can be terminated or also can be taken away by the government of India in various ways. So let's begin with our today's topic. As we know, the Constitution of India came into force on 26th of January 1950. That means we were no longer the subjects of the Britishers. But in the real sense, the people or the people living in India did not acquire the citizenship of India on the commencement of the Indian Constitution and retained as a British subject without the citizenship status unless and until they acquire the citizenship of any of the Commonwealth countries. That means there was no such law which prescribed in which sense or in which way the citizenship of India can be acquired, what is the procedure, what are the paperworks, and nothing else. So they were in the midway, citizens of none of the countries unless and until they register themselves to any of the Commonwealth countries. So accordingly, this Indian Citizenship Act of 1955 was enacted and came into force, which gave support or effect to the articles enumerated from Article 5 to 11 in the Indian Constitution. And likewise, from the 20th of December 1961, we acquired various territories as well, like Goa, Daman and Diu, Dadar and Nagar Haveli from the Portugals, and also from the French we acquired the Pondicherry, Karikal, Mahi, Yanam, and also Chandranagore. And from also the Sikkim was merged into the Indian territory, and various others East Indian states were also enclaved or acquired into the Indian territory by the border agreements with the Pakistan and the Bangladesh respectively. So also to give the effect to these people, the status of the citizenship, the order was from time to time passed by the government of India or the central government for that purpose. The various laws like the Goa, Daman and Diu Citizenship Order 1962, Dadar and Nagar Haveli Citizenship Order 1962, Citizenship of Pondicherry Order 1962, in excess of its power and which is mentioned under the section 7 of the Citizenship Act itself. Also, the President extended the citizenship from time to time to give the effect to the rules which are mentioned under Article 371 FN of the Indian Constitution. And in case of the uh, territories which were acquired by the border agreements did not require any legislative action as they were only a border demarcation agreements and nothing else. So as we know, have seen the features of the Indian Constitution, it is clearly stated that the Constitution of India provides a single citizenship to the entire country. We don't have the dual citizenship as of American Constitution. As so, the Indian citizenship was enacted by the Parliament in 1955, which provided the acquisition, renunciation, termination, deprivation, and determination of Indian citizenship in detail and also provide the ways or the methods in which the citizenship of India can be acquired, that is by birth, by descent, by registration and by process of naturalization in detail. So, the conferment of a person as a citizen of India is governed by the Article 5 of the Indian Constitution, from 5 to 11 of the Indian Constitution, and the legislation related to this matter is Citizenship of India Act of 1955, which has been amended from time to time to give effect to the people or the territories which have been acquired from time to time. That is the Citizenship Act of Amendment Act of 1986, of 1992, 2003, 2005, 2016 and 2019. So let us study all these amendments with the process of the acquisition, of the termination and various others. So here is the first. So let us study the process of the acquisition of the citizenship of India. So first among them is the section 3, which speaks about the citizenship by birth. It says that people who are domiciled in India, means who resides in India as on 26th of November 1949, automatically becomes a citizen of India. That means a person who is living in India since 26th of November 1955 is automatically the citizen of India without any process or the paperwork. Again, the person who is born in India on or after the 26th January of 1950, that means after the commencement or the enforcement of the Constitution of India, but before the 1st July of 1987, is also the citizen of India without any process or the registration process. But the person who is born after the 1st of July 1987 is a citizen of India if either of his parents was the citizen of India at the time of his birth. So this is a condition applied for the persons who are born after the 1st of July 1987. So among them next is the person who is born after the 3rd of December 2004 and the citizens of India if both of his parents, okay, both of his parents are citizens of India, or if one of his parents is a citizen and the other should not be a illegal migrant at the time of his birth. That means a person who is born after the 3rd of December 2004 can be citizen of India naturally or by birth if both of his parents are either citizen of India or one of them is citizen of India and other is not illegal migrant then and then only. And the next condition is that the citizenship by birth is not applicable to the children of foreign diplomats personnel and also to those of enemy aliens. That means the person who are in India being a representative of any other country cannot acquire the citizenship by birth, and also the children who are born to the enemies of the enemy countries person cannot also acquire the citizen of India by birth. So like this the citizenship of India can be acquired as the birth. Next is the citizenship by descent. That means if a person is born outside India on or after 26th of January 1950 but before 10th of December 1992. That means a person who is born outside India on or after 26th January 1950 but before the 10th of December 92 are considered the citizen of India by descent, that means by lineage or continuous. If their father was a citizen of India at the time of his birth, the person who is born outside India but his father had a citizenship of India during his birth can be a citizen of India, though he is born outside of India. Next condition is that the person born outside India on or after 10th of December 1992 can be considered as citizen of India if either of their parents are citizen of India at the time of his birth. That means again of moving a step further, a children can be accepted as a citizen of India who is born after the 10th of December 1992 if either of his parents means is the citizen of India at the time of his birth. Again, next condition is that either of their parents is at the time of their birth is in service of the government of India. That means if the person is born outside India and his parents are the servants of the government, in that case also the citizenship of India can be acquired by the descent by under the section 4 of the Citizenship of India Act 1995 1955, sorry. Next is the next condition is that from 3rd December 2004 onwards, person from outside of India shall not be considered as citizen of India unless their birth is registered at the Indian consultant or the central government. That means after the 3rd of December, any person who is born outside India cannot be considered as citizen of India by under section 4 unless and until he is registered at the Indian consultant or with the central government. So this is how the citizenship of India can be acquired under section 4, that is by way of descent. So moving further, the next way or point in which the citizenship of India can be acquired under section 4 by the way of descent is that provided that no such birth shall be registered unless the parents of such person declare in such a form and in such a manner as may be prescribed that the minor does not hold the passport of any other country. That means if the parents of a child gives in writing in a prescribed form that the child or the person who is born does not acquire the passport or the citizenship of any other country in the world, then and then only he can be registered as a citizen of India. Next is that a minor who is a citizen of India by virtue of this section, that this means under section 4 and is also citizen of any other country shall cease to be a citizen of India if he does not renounce the citizenship or nationality of any other country within 6 months of attaining full age. That means if in any case he has acquired the citizenship of any other country along with India, then he must renounce when he attains the age of maturity or the legal age, that is 18, and within 6 months he has to give up the citizen of either of India or any other country which is acquired. If he doesn't give the citizenship of that country, then the citizenship of India is lost from him. Coming to the next is that any person born outside undivided India who was deemed to be citizen of India at the commencement of the constitution shall be deemed to be a citizen by descent only. That means when there was no partition of India, it was as one earlier before the division, and he seemed to be a citizen of India. Then, only then, he can be a citizen of India by the descent and no other ways. He cannot claim that he was uh, the citizen of India before after the partition, but he has to prove that he was a citizen of the country before the partition had taken place, and then only he can claim that he is a citizen under Section 4 of the Indian Citizenship Act of 1955. So now the third way by which the citizenship of India can be acquired is enshrined under Section 5 of the Indian Citizenship Act of 1955 is citizenship by the way of registration. It says that subject to the provisions of this section, that is Section 5, and such other provisions or the conditions and the restrictions as may be prescribed by the central government on an application made in this behalf, registered as a citizen of India, any other person not being the illegal migrant who is not already such citizen by virtue of the constitution or any other provisions of this act, if he belongs to any of the following categories. That means a person can be the citizen of India by virtue of Section 5, that is by way of registration, unless and until, that means there are exceptions. Those exceptions are if he is already a citizen of India from by way or from the enforcement of the Constitution of India. Again, if he is illegal migrant, then he is already barred from the uh, being the citizen of India, and any other provisions of this act or the constitution. If he is barred or he is already a citizen of India, he need not be acquired the citizen of India by way of Article Section 5 of the Indian Citizenship Act. So, among how the citizen of India can be acquired uh, by the way of registration is can be studied one by one. So, among them, the first is a person of Indian origin who is ordinarily resident in India for the 7 years before the making an application for the registration. That means any person who is an Indian origin and residing in India for the 7 years, and after completing that 7 years, he gives an application to the government of India to be registered as a citizen of India, then he can be registered as a citizen of India by way of Article Section 5 of the Citizen Act of 1955. Second is the person of an Indian origin who is ordinarily resident in a country or place outside undivided country. That means a person who is an Indian origin and is ordinarily means he lives in India only. So he can be also the citizenship of India by way of Section 5. Next way is a person who is married to a citizen of India and is ordinarily resident in India for the 7 years before making an application for the registration. That means a person who have been born and brought up in the foreign country, but after marrying a person of Indian origin coming to India and residing in India after the her or his marriage, and before giving an application under Section 5, he has lived for the 7 years in the country, then he can get the citizen of India by way of Section 5 of the Indian Citizenship Act of 1955. Next is a minor children of a person who are citizen of India. That means any person or the child born to a person to the citizen of India can be acquired the citizenship of India by way or virtue of Section 5. Next is a person of full age and capacity and whose parents are registered as a citizen of India under clause E of this subsection or subsection 1 of subsection 6. That means under subsection 1 E of this section or under the subsection 1 of the section 6, if the parents of the person are already registered as a citizen of India, then he can also be registered as the citizen of India by virtue of article section 5 of the Indian Citizenship Act. Next is a person of full age and capacity who or either of his parents was earlier citizen of independent India and is ordinarily resident in India for 12 months immediately before making an application for the registration. That means the parents of a person of a major person who is already a citizen of India or residing immediately after getting the independence, and before such application is made to the government of India to be registered as a citizen of India, like prior month is like 12 months, like 1 year before making an application, he can be registered easily as a citizen of India. Seventh is a person who is of full age and capacity and has been registered as an overseas citizen of India card holder for 5 years and who is ordinarily registered or resident in India for 12 months before making an application for registration can also acquire the citizenship of India by virtue of Section 5 of the Indian Citizenship Act of 1955. Again, the next eight point is if the central government is satisfied that the circumstances exist which render it necessary to grant exemption from the residential requirement under clause C of subsection 1 to any person or the class of person, it may, for reasons to be recorded in writing, grant such an exemption. That means if the central government finds such situation that in the rules regarding section 5 about the prior resident in India is not possible, then it can grant exemptions, but that exemption has to be recorded in writing, and then only the such exemption can be granted to such person for the process of the registration for being the citizen of India. Now next way or method of acquiring the citizenship of India is by way or method is the process of naturalization, which is enshrined under section 6 of the Indian Citizenship Act of 1955. It says that citizenship of India by way of naturalization can be acquired by the foreigner and not the illegal migrant who is ordinarily the resident in India for 12 years and also qualifying the other qualifications which are specified in the third schedule of the Act. That means a person can acquire the citizen of India by the process of naturalization only and only if he is ordinarily the resident of India for 12 years before the application and also qualifies the other such conditions which are mentioned under the third schedule of the Act, that means of the Indian Citizenship Act of 1955. As we have seen, there are various schedules in the Constitution of India. In the same like and manner, there are the schedules in the Citizenship of Act 1955 as well, which in which the third schedule enlarge or mentions the qualifications or the conditions which has to be fulfilled by the person to acquire the citizenship of India by way or method of naturalization, which is mentioned under section 6. Coming to the next and the last way of acquiring citizenship is by the incorporation of the territory by virtue of section 7 of the Act of 1955. It says that if any territory becomes a part of India, the central government may by order notify in the official gazette specify the persons who shall be the citizen of India by reason of their connection with that territory, and those persons shall be the citizen of India as from the date to be specified in the order. That means if India acquires any part of a land to its territory from any of the countries, then the central government will notify such orders in the its official gazette specify that the person living in that particular area which has been acquired by the government of India uh, shall become the citizen of India from so and so date onwards. So this is how the last way or method the person can acquire the citizen of India. So now coming to the next point is that what about the status of the Indians who are living in the abroad? So let's see about their citizenship status in India one by one. So among them the first is the NRIs, that means non-resident of India, that means which has been defined under the Income Tax Act of 1951. It says that a person who resides in India for less than 182 days. The, how many days? 182 days during the course of the preceding financial year is regarded as the NRI. Again, the second qualification is that who has gone out of India or who stays outside the India for the purpose of employment is also regarded as NRI. Again, the person who has gone out of India or who stays outside India for carrying on his business or vocation outside India is also regarded as the NRI. Again, the next person who is also regarded as NRI is a person who has gone out of India or who stays out India or in for any other purpose indicating his intention to stay outside India for an uncertain period. That means a person's whose intention is to live outside India and not in India is also regarded as an NRI. So, what are the status of the persons of Indian origin? That is PIE. PIO. That means a person of Indian origin. It says that a citizen of foreign country other than the citizen of Bangladesh and Pakistan. That means is regarded as a person who lives in the foreign country other than the Pakistan and the Bangladesh are regarded as the person belonging to India but acquired the citizen of any other country are called the person of Indian origin. For that, uh, he or for the condition for being called as the person of Indian origin are as follows. Among them, first is the person at any time held the Indian passport is called as person of Indian origin. Next, the person or either of his parents or either of his their grandparents was a citizen of India is also regarded as the Indian person of Indian origin. And thirdly, if person is a spouse not being the citizen of the Bangladesh or a Pakistan of an Indian citizen or any of the above can also be regarded as the person of Indian origin. That means after marriage, he goes with his spouse and resides in any other country is also regarded as the person of Indian origin. So coming to the next is the overseas citizenship. That means it is possible for someone to be considered as a citizen under the law for two or more countries at the same time. That means it is in some rare cases it can be considered to be a citizen of India or can have the dual citizen of two countries at a time in the rare countries, and this is also known as a dual citizenship. The Indian Parliament passed a bill to grant the dual citizenship to the person of Indian origin on December 22 in 2003. That means on the 22nd of December 2003, the Indian government passed such a law which grants dual citizenship to the person who intends to remove for those have taken the foreign passport and the obstacles to travel to and from India, and and also the permission for investment in business ventures and fosters a great sense of belonging. That means it grants the Indian government grants such dual citizenship to such a person who has the obstacle for frequent traveling to and from the India and holds a foreign passport, and he wants to invest in the business in India, but due to his citizenship he can't, and he has a great love for the country or the great belonging towards the country. After proving such all conditions, the government of India in such rare cases can grant the dual citizenship to such persons, and every registered overseas Indian, that is overseas citizenship, can be issued a registration certificate which is printed like an Indian passport in different color, and OCI visa sticker will be pasted on the person's foreign passport. So after being registered the overseas citizen once, uh, a like manner of the Indian passport will be generated, and such a sticker or the stamp will be put on his foreign passport, and he hereon will have no problem while visiting to India or investing in India uh, from here on. So this is all about how the citizenship can be acquired, can the dual citizenship can be acquired. But the section 7E of the Indian Citizen Act of 1955 gives in detail procedure about the registration of the overseas citizen of India. Uh, how it can become the card holder of the overseas citizen of India. Among them, the first is the central government may, subject to such conditions or the restrictions, and as the manner may be prescribed on an application made in this behalf, register as an overseas citizen of India card holder. For that, he should be of full age and capacity. Again, he should be a citizen of another country, but was a citizen of India at the time or at any point of time after the commencement of the Constitution of India. So this is the most important condition, that at any given point of time before acquiring the foreign citizenship, he should have been the citizen of India after the commencement or the enforcement of the Constitution of India. Again, the next condition is that uh, who is a citizen of any other country, that is foreign country, but was eligible to become a citizen of India at the time of the commencement of the Constitution. So, if we do not qualify that was a citizen of India at the time of the commencement or after the commencement of the Constitution at any given point of time, but he should have been an eligible person to become a citizen of India at any given point of time after the commencement of the Constitution of India. The again next third is who is a citizen of any other country but belong to a territory that became a part of India after the 15th day of August 1947. That means if India had acquired any of the territory and he was the person belonging to that part of territory and was eligible to become the citizen of India after the acquisition of that territory, then such persons can also be granted the overseas card. Again, also to the childrens of such person, not only the childrens but also the grandchildrens and also the great grandchildrens as well of such persons can be granted the overseas citizens of India card holder. So, coming to the next qualification is that a person who is minor child of a person mentioned in the clause A or C, a person who is minor child and whose both parents are citizen of India or one of the parents is a citizen of India. That means a minor child can also be granted the dual citizenship under this process. But for that purpose also, uh, the qualification above has to be qualified, or else his both parents has to be the citizen of India, or any of, if not both the parents, then at least one of his parents should be the citizen of India, and the minor has to reside outside India, then only the overseas card can be provided to such a minor child. Again, the next condition is that the spouse of a foreign origin of a citizen of India or a spouse of a foreign origin of an overseas citizen India card holder registered under 7E and whose marriage has been registered and subsisted for a continuous period of not less than 2 years immediately preceding the presentation of the application under this section. That means if a person is married uh, to a person of Indian origin or the person who resides in India or the person who resides in India is married to any of the foreign person, then they can be granted this overseas card. But for that condition has that at least 2 years has to be passed of such marriage before the application of uh, such card holder before the government of India under section 7E of the Indian Citizenship Act of 1955. Again, the next condition is that the central government by notification in the official gazette specify the date from which the existing person of Indian origin card holder shall be deemed to be the overseas citizen of India's card holder. After getting the registration in the official website, the government of India will notify from when on the person will be called as the overseas citizen of India card holder. So this is all about how the citizen of India can be acquired and the process of termination and much more can be studied in our upcoming videos. For that, keep watching our videos, and if you like our videos then do subscribe our channel and also like and comment in the comment section to let us know how was our session and what all needs to be improved and much more. Till then, thank you, bye bye, and take care.